they definitely need to have something figured out by the start of next season because, as you said, next season of all seasons, the Knicks have resisted this for so freaking long, especially with an actually like promising, as you said earlier, well-fitting core of young guys. They've resisted for so long, just being like, let's just try it. Like, let's just try it with the young guys and see what happens and not worry about, a bunch of dudes that are like 27 to 30 years old, getting them minutes and whatever. Let's just like see what we have with these young players. And if they lose, they lose. Cause we might get, Victor Wembanyama at the end of the year, which would be really awesome. Cause he looks like maybe one of the best prospects of the last, 15 years.
You can eliminate maybe and also make the number much larger than 15.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you know what? Screw it. What's the elevator pitch on Wembanyama real quick, just in case anybody's like curious about what there is potentially waiting at the end of the rainbow next year.
Okay. So have you ever seen a 7'4" teenager shoot threes off flare screens before? Have you also ever seen that player recover about 5 steps in a drop and pin somebody's stuff to like the top of the square? Like he's a hilariously effective defensive player while also like having multiple uses on offense. Like you can tell that he watches a lot of Joel Embiid, but it has a frame that's like closer to Gobert in terms of ground coverage. Like
so like a bigger Poku is what you're saying.
Oh no, he's like a straight 5.
No, I'm joking. Yeah. I'm joking.
Like he anyone who the thing with Wembanyama is that like the internet, makes a terrible habit of using hyperbole. And so like, is this player the next KD? And the problem is that when you actually do find a player who deserves hyperbole, I sound like I'm describing like a mid-major plus point guard where it's like the next Chris Paul. I'm like, no, he's just not 6 foot. He's good, but he's just not a 6-footer. Like when Wembanyama played the U19 USA team, and he was the best player on the floor that had like 7, 8, 9 NBA players. He like took Chet out of the game, and if it wasn't for American hero Kenneth Lofton Jr. fouling him out on 2 extraordinarily trash calls, like he would have basically beaten America by himself. Like the 2 years ago now, when Evan Mobley was in his draft year, Arizona had a power forward who it was like the only player in college game problem, Lithuanian cat, and like specifically the thing he would do was just like a shoulder check. And he tried that on Wemby at the U19s. And Wemby got shoulder checked much further, went into like almost towards the stanchion, and then jumped back and punched it before it got to the rim. Like there are just things that he does that don't make sense. Like truly and completely just like that's not how this is supposed to work. And there's no way to describe that to people until you've watched it, where you're just like, hey, so like I've never like this, like he made Chet look like a normal dude. Like that's the like when you watch Chet, you're like, wow, this is an insane rim protector. And he's like, yeah, that looked normal next to Wemby. And Wemby was 2 years younger than Chet for that game. They're not like even close to the same age. So yeah, it's extraordinarily spooky. It's just it's the spookiest prospect you could possibly imagine. He's 7'4", and they run him off flare screens, and he really truly wants to annihilate people on a basketball floor. It's really amazing stuff.
I'm excited. It worked. You pitched me. I'm in. We'll take him. We'll take him in New York. Happy to announce.
Let's just say if you said I had to win 5 basketball games the next year, I'd be like, okay, cool. Just at halftime, we wouldn't have a halftime show. We just put up Victor Wembanyama highlights, and I'd just be like, y'all gonna have to understand me on this one.
That'd be a great new lottery rule. If you're under 5 wins, we don't do it. You're just you get the first pick.
Just like get to a point where they're like, get to a point where they're like, this is an embarrassment. And I would just again just turn to the projector and be like, I carry this with me at all times. Just start playing highlights and be like, you're gonna have to understand me.
Here you go. Yeah, you're like that guy who's just walking around Times Square with like an iPhone like stapled to his head, just playing the same video. But
yes, that is exactly what it would be if I were in a position like again, Sam Presti. I get it. We fully understand.